Perfect. We're so excited to have you here.
I'm excited to be here.
Oh, are you nervous for this Punta Cana sign up? I feel like we're a little
I
nervous.
wasn't until I just came into the civilized world and my chats are blowing up. So
They're
of
nervous.
I'm fine, but you feel responsible. So I'm like,
Yeah.
you guys, we're going. If we don't get the wave we want, you'll meet a bunch of new people,
Yeah. Yeah.
big deal. You have a trip to Punta
I know.
Cana. How bad can it be?
Yeah, we have like a very specific windows because a lot of us show dogs. So we have like our national specialties are like mine is the next week. So I have to be in that first one. So I'm panicking. I'm like, what if there's a glitch? But then I'm like, they'll let it sort out. They're sorted out. It'll be fine. So
Oh my goodness.
yeah, so we're all there. Cassie is shuffling kids right now, so she is not on with us live, but we're just going to get right into this because I know people are going to pop in. It's a little weird time for us, so we're just going to pop in and get you going, and that way we can get you off so you can answer all those messages.
Well, and you guys, I don't know if everybody knows how I live in the summer, but I am up in the Adirondacks in upstate New York, where I have summered. My husband and I will be married 28 years this year. The first time that he ever brought me to our cabin, it was a rainy, cold August day. We drive through this gate. We drive 10 miles on a dirt road, literally in the middle of nowhere. No roads even show up on GPSs or anything. We park the car. He hands me this plastic bag with a dollar store poncho in it and says, you might want to put this on. We get in a lake. We cross 1 mile of lake. We're on this enormous lake, and there sits our little cabin. It's a 3-mile lake. There are 13 cabins on it. There is no electricity. There is no cell signal. There is no indoor plumbing. I mean, the inside is adorable. We have, cute little bedrooms for the kids and all that stuff. But like, we are literally in the middle of nowhere. And so that was how we were living when I thought it would be a great idea to start an internet-based business. Okay, how am I going to do this over the summer? So up until last year when COVID hit, I would sit with my computer outside the public library where I would have a cell signal. So I would get in my boat, I'd cross the lake, I'd cross 10 miles of dirt road, I'd drive 5 miles into town. I never missed a team meeting. I was doing Facebook parties. I was doing trainings. I was doing anything I had to do. So last year, COVID hit and the library was shut right down, and I was doing more trainings than watching them. So I actually rent an office in town. So I'm in my office.
That's perfect. And so you definitely had to find something that was going to work in whatever amount of time you could put to it.
Exactly. And that is, I love to tell that story because I still enrolled 13 last summer. Like, I'm in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I see no one.
Yeah.
I still enrolled 13 people. I still maintain my rank every month. So one of the things that I really had to figure out from the earliest days of starting my business was, how can I be intentional? And how can I remain focused? How do I identify the most important things I need to do on limited time? Because I couldn't not be with my family. Like, this is what our family does. And I couldn't be in the office all day. So I think for me, one of the maybe the best learning experiences for me was when COVID hit, really last March, a year and a half or so ago, and we were locked down and we were all in our houses and we were trying to figure out how we were going to deal with inventory shortages. I was trying to launch 5 new people that I enrolled, and there's no inventory, and I'm like UPSing and FedExing. And I would walk out of my office and look at my husband and be like, I'm exhausted. I just worked an 8-hour or a 10-hour day. And I was afraid, like, how am I going to go to the cabin where I can't be accessible 8 to 10 hours a day and still run my business? Like, I had such anxiety over that last summer. And I really learned how to prioritize my time. I learned how to identify those key things, those income producing activities. And this was the biggest thing. I learned the difference between being busy and being productive. And when
Yes.
I look back at what I was doing those 8-hour and 10-hour days, it wasn't all focused and intentional work. There was a lot of stupidity in there and a lot of time wasting. So once I got here, I established office hours for myself, and I would post those office hours into my team page weekly. And I would say, these are the times that you can catch me. And then in addition to those office hours, I would always block 1 hour worth of time where I was working. So I would say last summer, from, I don't know, June through all of June, all of July, and into the first part of August, which they were my best months, probably most of yours too, if you were around then. I was running my business on probably 10 hours a week. But it was very focused, very intentional 10 hours. And at that time, my team was probably 800 or 900. I was a senior executive. One thing I have going for me is I have amazing executives too. So they take on, it's a lot of collective and shared leadership. So
Awesome. So can you share what you do in those, say it's 2 hours a day?
Yep.
What do you focus on? What is your main key tips?
So you guys where are we rank wise? Is this all leaders?
This is all over. New people
Okay.
up to, executives.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as leaders, I'll speak to that first, because my biggest responsibility is always to my team. So the first thing I always do is I open up my texts, and once I'm back in service, because don't forget, I cannot even, this thing is useless. This is a camera the majority of my summer. So I prioritize which messages I need to respond to immediately. And let's be honest, if someone is, there really are no nail emergencies. I've had to, there are times you have to talk someone off the ledge, those kinds of things. But for the most part, there aren't those pressing life death matters in this type of business, which is good. I will peruse the chats. I'm in several chats. So then I will open up my messenger and I will scroll through quickly. And if it doesn't require, like, if it's not directed at me, usually my other leaders are in there answering those questions. But the first thing I do is I look and say, who on my team needs me? And then usually I will make a list. And what I have found is I will create that list before I even leave the cabin. And I will prioritize the most important things and then move down to the least important things. And I did something that's key. You heard me say I have to cross a lake. When I go to the landing to drive into town, I always make my husband drop me off by boat. Because when I tell him at 2:00, I will be here, out of respect for my husband, I will not be late, which means I need to leave this office at 1:30, which means I have to work back and say from 12:30 to 1:30, I got to get through all of these things on this list.
I love that.
So I don't have a choice. You guys do, but I would say set your boundaries. So I take that list, and sometimes I don't get to the things on the bottom, but those aren't my priorities. My priorities are always, how many new people have I reached out to about a business or the product in the last week? My number is always 10. So depending on where I am for the week, that might be the first thing on my list to make those 5 or 10 reach outs. I am touching base with my new stylist always. That's always in my top 3 or 4 things. If I've got parties going, I am going right to Facebook and I am engaging on those posts. You know, I do all my pre-scheduling. That might be in that 1 hour's worth of work time where I've got to get these posts scheduled. So it varies from day to day, but really for me, it's serving my team who needs me. It's reaching out about the opportunity and potential enrollments. It's talking to those new stylists and making sure they're still plugged in. And I'm going to be honest, and I hope if I say anything that goes against what your team is training, then you need to do what your team is telling you. During the summer, I can't always watch a Tuesday training. Like I missed today's. My son and his wife are here. They're leaving on Friday. I've got 5 days with them. I didn't come out of camp to go back in to come out again to do this call and to book Punta Cana. So I will say there are times when I let training slide, but I know I am flying out to Jacksonville on Friday and I've got time in the airport. So in my head, I've already got the Tuesday training scheduled for Friday when I know I'm going to be sitting still and can watch it. So those kinds of things. Other things that I can do that don't require me to be here. Personal development is huge. If you guys know anything about me, if you saw my Connect the Dots, if you've been on any of my trainings, I am where I am because I am a product of what I put in here, what I've programmed my brain to think. I surround myself with successful people, but not physically, but with the printed word. And what are these famous, rich, amazing, successful people saying I need to do? How do I learn to think like them? So that's always a non-negotiable. That's part of my workday, but that usually happens first thing in the morning and last thing before I go to bed at night. I don't know. What am I feel like I'm just like fire hosing you guys.
No, I love it because the problems we have is we are all very busy, as everyone is, but a lot of us travel. So trying to schedule things on a consistent basis is just not what we can do. Like,
no, it's never going to look the same week in and week out.
And I think people need to hear that because I needed to hear that in the beginning, that I don't care how much of a schedule you try to mark down. Monday's never going to be the same. Tuesday's never going to be the same. So I think just hearing someone else say that, you know, it's good, you're going to change and it's going to be who does need you when you're getting someone started, that kind of stuff really helps. But for your IPAs, how do you organize what you feel is your top priority and down?
So my top priority, and this is going to vary with where you are in terms of your career and your rank and your responsibilities. And even probably other leaders might see it differently. This is me and how I personally run my business. My number one priority every single time is to help my team enroll people.
Gotcha.
That to me is more important than my own personal business. It's more important than my own enrolling. It's more important than my sales. And some of you may or may not know, I've been top 10 in enrolling for 3 consecutive years. Do you know what my goal is? And my goal was this last year. My goal is to not be on that stage. My goal is that my downline will be on that stage because I don't see this business is about not what I can do. It's about what I can duplicate.
Yeah.
So my number one, number one priority is enroll for my team.
I love that.
Number 2 priority is enroll for me. Never, ever, ever stop enrolling. Ever, ever, ever,
ever. That's how it keeps going. And I feel the same way. It's like enrolling is the most important part and everything else follows in. But having those conversations and knowing that it's not instant, I think I loved how you talked about on each day of the week, you have lists and you go through those lists and your friends lists on Facebook, and you just comment on people that, I have that in, future stylist list, and I go in and I make sure I touch them at least twice a week. Is that kind of how you kind of make sure those relationships are?
Yeah, and I will, if I do events or if I do parties, I will create a list, or I'll take those lead sheets and I will staple them together. And I will make sure I write the date of the event on there, and I have them in piles, and I'll pull them out. And, I'm always, the first time I'm touching base, it's within 2 days.
Yeah.
The second time, if they're interested, like probably a week and a half or so ago, I did an event. I had some leads that she's in my funnel. I talked with her again last night. She wants to enroll next Tuesday. So it's going to look different based on your events and your schedule. But I know if I take that chunk, I'm following up with them on the same days. Nothing makes me happier than ripping it out and tossing it, because it means I've enrolled her.
I love that.
So that, just the organizational piece, or if it's a Facebook party and, there was a lot of engagement and there were good sales, I'm going to write those people down to make sure that I am personally reaching out, building that relationship, and then offering, hey, I don't know if you're interested. I love your energy. I think you'd be great at what I'm doing. Have you ever considered additional income streams?
I love how people get so caught up on being too salesy, and it's a mindset. So that's where your mind, it totally is a mindset that you are not being salesy. You are offering the opportunity to help them. And I think coming at it that you're serving them, that you're helping them, is definitely key. And I think a lot of our team kind of steps back from that because they don't want to be salesy. But the fact is, it's not salesy. It's an offering. It's dessert. Like, and you might not want it that time, but they might down the road. So I love that. I love it.
Yeah, like I have a call tonight with my team, and they want to know what I say. How do you do it? It is so much less about what I say and way more about what I believe in my heart. Yeah. And people sense my belief. I'm not a big person on, here's a script, say this, because that doesn't work. You've got to do you, but you've got to do you with such conviction and such belief that people are like, man, this has got to be amazing. She's so freaking excited about it. I am.
Yeah.
And this is me without caffeine.
And it's more about, you should be so excited that you have to stop yourself from overwhelming them. Like, I think if you come at them so excited that they can't say no to you because you're so excited about what they could make of it, I think you're right on there. It's a mindset. And it's honestly, those books, all that personal development pays off when you're having those conversations, because you don't feel salesy. And I think that's such a big key.
Yeah. And with those conversations, I have learned a lot. My son, he is the sweetest soul, but he's like, Mom, you got to take it down a notch. Like, he's so mellow and laid back, and I'm from this big Italian family, and I'm like, and one of the things I've learned is not everybody can take that. And so I try to mirror, and I don't know, I read this somewhere, mirror whoever it is I'm talking to. If she's right there with me, then I am me being me.
Yeah.
If she is more laid back, she speaks more slowly, she's in a quieter voice, I'm going to bring it down a notch, and I'm going to give it to her exactly the way that she is giving it to me, and try to meet her where she is, because I want to be relatable. And sometimes those people make the best stylists. It's not just the loud, gregarious, big personality people. those types of people generally have really amazing relationships. They care for people. They're just, and I don't want to blow her out with my super, I can still be excited, but I can be excited on a way more mellow level, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's exactly what we want to hear and need to hear, that you have to adjust. Not everybody is the same. Not everyone's going to sign up the same. Some people are going to come in hot. Some people are going to take their time and read everything and really process everything and take more time to sign up because they really want to think it through, and then they take off. So it definitely, you never know where someone's going to come in. And I think that's awesome. Does anyone have questions? I would love some of you to, I know Nikki was someone that wanted to know every detail of what you do in an hour. And I know she's one of those. So does anybody have anything? All right, Nikki, you said yes. What do you want to know?
Where's Nikki? Let me see you, Nikki. Come on, like this is me, no makeup, no electricity, so hair in a bun. Like you guys are getting me real and raw.
I think she's actually outside running dogs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So my top 5 IPAs, I'm not even sure there are 5. So
Yeah.
I call it the recipe. It's my recipe for success. So I like to draw the analogy. If you are baking brownies, you have a recipe for brownies. You better have your eggs and your cocoa and your flour and your sugar and your baking powder, and you better, splash vanilla, mix it up, put it in the oven.
Thanks, please.
Get at the right temperature for the right amount of time, you're going to get brownies, right? If you leave out one ingredient, you're going to get something, but it's not going to be brownies, and you're not going to want them. I saw that in this business. And what I see over and over and over again is people who are frustrated are usually doing actions, and they're doing several of them, but they're not doing all of them. And that one or two, maybe those ingredients that they're leaving out is what's creating the frustration as opposed to the success. So you could be off the charts with your sales. You could have an amazing VIP group. You could be doing great parties, and you're frustrated because your team's not growing, but you're not offering anybody the business. So you're doing a lot of things right, but you're not doing everything you need to do. So for me, first and foremost, every single day from the day that I signed up, read. It will change the way you think. Your thinking will affect your actions. Actually, your thinking is going to create your beliefs create your actions create your results. So it starts with how you are thinking. Educate yourself about network marketing as a profession. Know what you got yourself into. Read people who have done it.
Yep.
So reading first, then taking care of my team. You guys know that can look different on any given day, depending on what my team needs. But then reaching out consistently to 10 people a week, 10 new people.
Yep.
Following up. And those 10 people are both sales and enrolling. So it's product and business, 2 oars in the water. And then following up, consistently having that funnel and making sure that I am making contact, touching base, building that relationship. I want them to know, like, and trust me. And I know my social media is working because when we're down in Florida, my husband will come home from the grocery store at least once or twice a month and say, this random lady came up and said, hey, Dawn, like she knew me. I have no idea who she is. Or my son was in Birmingham in a totally different city, and he was at this little microbrewery with his dog and his wife, and some lady went up to him. She's like, hey, you're Amanda's son, aren't you? She's not on my team, but she's one of my Facebook friends, and she was visiting Birmingham and ran into my son. He's like, Mom, this is creepy. So You know, my posts are getting out there, my reach is out there because of my 5 pillars and my know, like, and trust. It's not, let me sell you nails. That's a whole other training, but
Yeah.
so those would be, I would say, my 4 or 5 things that I am consistently doing.
Yeah. And it's always changing. I love that it's not the same thing every day. It's not.
No, if I get my 10 reach outs out of the way on Monday and Tuesday, when I come to work on Thursday and Saturday, if those are my days to work that week, then I don't have to touch it and I can get deeper into my lists on other things.
Cool. Yes. That is awesome. I know. And how do you take objections? I know it's a whole nother training. It's right in there.
No, I don't really care. I
Oh.
mean, I honestly, I knew this business model worked. I didn't find, not that I had ever done anything else, but I had been curious about it because I've always believed in the model. But I just knew that this was the best thing out there. I honestly, from day one, I believed it, and people will always say to me, and this one drives me crazy, so please don't say this to me. Well, of course you can enroll people. You're successful. Guys, I was enrolling people when I wasn't successful. That's how I got successful.
Yeah.
So I will always tell people, borrow on the credibility of other people. Know your upline, know your crossline, know their stories. When I listen to trainings or when I'm at conference, I want to know someone's background. I want to know what you were doing before you quit your job. Up until June, I was working a full-time job as an elementary teacher and building my Color Street business part-time. And I wanted to do that because I didn't want anybody on my team to say, well, of course you can do all this. You don't work.
Yeah.
Last year, it was like teaching with my hair on fire. I was teaching essentially 2 classrooms because my brilliant county thought we can have those families keep their kids at home and then we can send other kids every day to your classroom and you're going to teach them both at the same time. That was awesome. And redesigned a curriculum that wasn't meant to be delivered digitally, but now you're going to rewrite it so that they can access it at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was still a top enroller.
Yeah.
So I said to my team, don't tell me you're busy. don't
Nope,
don't tell me that life is hard. Don't tell me. We all have 24 hours. This business comes down to, have you made it a priority? I made it a priority. Not more than my teaching job, but at least as much as. Why should I show up for the families in my class, for those students, for my principal, for my district every single day consistently and not show up for myself?
Yeah. Yes. 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 And it's so good to hear because we all juggle. Everybody's juggling their time. Everyone's trying to make things work. So knowing that you're not alone in that and that you can find pockets of time, but if you're intentional in those pockets of time and you really write out your week, write out your plan on what day you're going to do something and do it. And don't get on there and scroll.
Scroll patrol.
Yeah.
Busy, fake work. That's fake work.
Yeah.
Be honest with yourself. What is real work and what is fake work? If it's not in those 4 or 5 things that I talked about, you're not really working. You're just keeping yourself busy. I'm like, it's gloves off, guys. I'm talking to you like I would talk to my team, but maybe even a little more harsh because my team would cry. No, not really, but I mean, you want me on here to be honest with you. I'm letting you have it. I don't watch television. I mean, I don't have electricity this summer, but my husband and I used to sit down on the couch and watch Netflix series. In the last 4 years, I haven't watched a Netflix series. And I'll tell you this one, my teaching team, my 4th grade teacher team, every Friday, they would go to lunch. And for an hour and a half, I would sit there and I would listen to them talk about Netflix. I had no idea what the heck they were talking about. And it was like 2 or 3 weeks into the school year. and it maybe that third Friday. And I said, I'm not going to go, you guys. I brought my lunch. I got stuff I need to get done here. And I stopped going because, and this may sound harsh and you guys don't know me very well, but I'm just going to put it out there. When I look at my goals and my ambitions and where I want to be, I can pretty much take every decision that I have to make, and it is either moving me toward those goals, or I won't even say it's not, or further away from them. So going to lunch with them, although it was maybe entertaining and I don't know why I was going, but it wasn't helping me achieve the things that I wanted to achieve. So that was an hour and a half a week that I then started eating lunch by myself in my classroom, which was great because everybody was gone and I could get a ton of stuff done. And I would do a training, I would read a book, I would do reach outs, I would pre-schedule my Facebook groups. I didn't gain an hour and a half a week. It didn't go from 24 hours to 25 and a half hours. I just changed how I was spending that hour and a half. And I invested it in my business instead of going and blowing it.
Yeah.
Here's another one. I used to walk to the office 3 times a day. I used to go first thing when I got there in the morning. I used to go at lunch, check my mailbox, and then I'd go again after school. Now, inevitably, you run into people and you're chatting it up and blah, 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 right? I started this business. I stopped that because I needed to get my papers graded in that, let's say 20 to 30 minutes. So I didn't have to bring those papers home at night. So when I got home at night, I could be running a Facebook party. I could be on a team call. I could be doing those things. Again, nobody made my day 24 and a half hours. I just reallocated 20 to 30 minutes that I was basically blowing and said, I'm going to be intentional with this time. I'm going to use it so I can free up time at home so I can work my business at home instead of having to do my schoolwork at home. So search your day. And that came from an exercise. I work with Rob Sperry. He's my personal coach and trainer. I love him. I pay him to tell me the truth, which sometimes I don't want to hear. But one of the things he challenged me to do, especially while I was working, was to block my day in 30-minute increments. He said, I don't care if you say sit on the couch for 30 minutes and you go sit on the couch for 30 minutes, but I want you more aware of your time and how you are spending it, because right now it is the most valuable thing that you have, and you're probably wasting a lot of it.
It's so true. It's so
hard. I challenge you. Try it for 2 days. Put everything you're going to do in 30-minute blocks.
That's going to be our team challenge, guys. This weekend, I want everyone to block their time. That's going to be the team challenge. But it's very eye-opening because I've watched more Olympics. That's the most TV I've watched in the last year, is just watching the Olympics, because I have just kind of cut that out and tried to focus on what I was doing. And it's a huge, huge thing. And I don't even miss, I watch my shows when I can multitask, but I try not to multitask anymore. I used to think that's how you were doing so much and you don't get anything done. You just do little things. So I love it. I love it all. It's
when
awesome.
I'm in this office, I am here to work and I get so much done. Sometimes I'll just write things on the list to cross them off, even if I've already done it. I want to see it. Woo! Progress, sister. We are jamming now. No, I mean, you have to, and you have to give yourself grace, but you've also got to hold yourself accountable. I could have been the girl that said, well, I don't have electricity over the summer. I'll work this business 10 months a year, but I don't know I'll be on vacation for those 2 months. Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
Where would my business be and what example would I be to my team? Yeah. Instead, I'm the girl that has not missed a team call in 4 years, and I've got a lake and a dirt road to traverse every time I'm there.
Yep.
So don't tell me you're busy and you can't get on that call.
I'm the same way. It is, and I'm that personal development first thing in the morning starts your whole day. So I try to instill that. It's like, just get it in right away and your whole day is going to be a different outlook. So Nikki
guys
says exactly what
I've
she
not read Byproduct by Ian Pruckner, I think is his name. I have read hundreds of books. I would put that in my top 5.
Oh, that's good. Okay. I like that. Awesome. Awesome. Yay. Nikki said that's exactly what she was looking for. I love it.
Oh, good.
That's what she was looking for. Any other questions so we can let Amanda jump off and go to her team?
Byproduct, I think his last name is Pruckner. The title is Byproduct. His first name is Ian.
Ian. Yep.
And he's the one that's that T-BAR acronym. Your thoughts become your beliefs drive your actions create your results. So if something isn't happening, it's not because you're not putting the activity in. That's the first thing we go to. We'll do this and this and this and this. And that's how I was coaching my stylist. But I'm like, wait a second. If the activity isn't happening, they don't have the belief, they don't have the understanding in this industry and in the possibility, or they don't have the belief in themselves that they can actually do it. So let's go back and explore their thoughts. How are they seeing themselves, or how are they seeing this opportunity? Don't give them 5 more things to do. If they don't have the thoughts and the beliefs, those 5 things are useless.
And the belief is key. That is the key. That you have to believe in yourself. Like, I mean,
and our company,
yeah,
and our team, and this model. You're
our
right.
company sets us up for success. I feel like everything they do is just, I mean, you and I are working on another thing that is just setting all of us up for success. So believe in that, know you're in the right place at the right time, kind of thing. And we have Canada coming. I mean, that's what we're so excited about. Oh, I love it. This was great. I took so many notes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't
All
want
right, you guys.
to late to your call, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. I love
All
it.
right.
All right. Good luck on the sign up for
Oh, you guys are going wave 1. We're all trying to go wave 2. So hopefully that'll make it possible for you.
Sorry, we won't see you there, but we're doing
Be in the Bahamas.
Right. Yes. Thank you,
All right.
Amanda.
See you guys later.
Okay, bye. Awesome. Oh, that was so good. So good. Okay, who had takeaways? I want to hear them. Somebody speak up. I know for me, blocking your day is huge. I need to sit down and do it. So what else does anyone have?
For me, I loved hearing her say that she puts her team enrolling first.
Yeah.
I think that is a huge thing that a lot of our teams have to learn to do. I think we focus on our own and then not helping each other out.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're definitely in a shift for helping everyone. Nikki says time blocking too. Yes, time blocking. I'm going to come up with a challenge for this weekend. I'm going to get Cassie to jump in on that with me. We're going to figure out how we're going to do a time blocking challenge. And we want everyone 2 days of really blocking out what you have to do every day and what you do. So I'm going to look into that because I think that is great. All right. Anybody else want to speak up before we go on to the next topic?
I was actually just thinking about this today because I'm sitting in my office, which is my desk in the living room, and I'm trying to get things organized and the baby's crying and then the dogs need to go out and then I need to start dinner. And I'm like, I need to do one thing at a time. And just hearing that you need to do that and not try to do too many things at once and be intentional, I think I'm going to have to really figure out how to stop juggling so many things.
Yeah. Be like, David, baby, for 20 minutes. Sit down and do 20. Yeah. I think that's.
I have be intentional written in all caps on my page.
Yeah. I know that was a big one. And I just like that one of her IPAs is reading. That is something, it is so, I know it sounds cheesy. I know mindset sounds so, before I had 5 years of therapy, I assure you, I was the same way. I had 5 years of therapy. So I have a little experience in the mindset thing. So just knowing that just starting your day or just reading a book is gonna change everything for your business if you're in the right mindset. And just know that it does pay off. It does. There's a reason that all the top leaders tell you guys to do the mindset and reading the books. Like I have already started the download of Byproduct. So I'm always running out of books and always reaching out to find out new ones. And then I go back and I read the ones that I liked. And you just keep doing that and things are just going to keep going. All right. Juggling is not okay. You get nothing done. Exactly. I have so many things that is always distracting me, and I will not get up from the table until I get something done, even if it's puppies arguing, and they're being really good right now because they're right next to me. So parenting chaos. Yes, that is for real. Yeah, multitasking is easy to get addicted to. It's so true. Oh, I love it. I love it. All right, if you have any more questions, throw them in the chat. I just want to touch on the hostess incentive that they have for this month. This is huge to help us get parties set up for Canada and the fall launch. Fall launch will be later this month. So do not tell your customers this. Do not give them the exact date. Give them an idea that it might be coming. And this is a great time to get your party going. So you have hostess rewards for that party. So the sooner they do a party, the sooner you book off their party, and the sooner they use their rewards, get those hostess rewards, and then they can get another link. So if they want to go buy more fall shades, they can and get more Mojave Gold. That is me. That might just be me. I'm getting all the Mojave Gold. If it runs out, it's my fault. So use that hostess incentive. Canada is next week. I just want to touch on really quick what I'm going to do. And I've kind of talked to a few of you that are on here about, if you have someone signing up, I would recommend getting their group set up Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Get those people loaded in. Tell them what color street is. Offer them samples. Get their groups up and running. So when they sign up on Monday morning, if you're doing their launch party, when they sign up Monday morning, you just have to set up that party link, throw it in their group, and they're already excited because they've already learned about it. So getting those groups set up now through the weekend, get your people understanding what it is, get their friends in. We all know when you start a party, it takes 2 to 3 days for them all to get their invites in or invites out. Some people it takes longer. So getting those set up sooner than later will definitely get them excited because they can't get it yet. And then as soon as those party links are signed or up, everybody's enrolled, it's supposed to be immediate. So they should be able to get right into their back office, get a party link up and post it right away. If you have someone coming in from Canada and they have someone signing up under them, get their party link set up, and then they can give their enrollment link to those people that are signing up under them. So just make sure you have all your ducks in a row. Everybody's got their system going, but having those groups up early will save you a lot of headache. Just having those posts already in there, letting people learn about what it is, all that is going to help a lot getting your launch to go smooth. Everything should be going smooth. It sounds like they have their ducks in a row, but obviously let them know this is new and they have to choose. So if you have someone that is in Canada and the US, if they have bought in the US, they have to choose to switch their PO to Canada. So they can't bounce back and forth. They're gonna have to pick one website. That's the only other thing. I think that was about it. Does anyone have questions on the Canada launch? Because I know we have a lot of people on here that do have people up there. And our party links will work up there. So I'm starting parties for people in Canada first few days so that their people are already loaded in and they'll be ready to buy Monday. So I think that definitely is good. We've got like 10 more minutes. Okay, anybody got questions on that? Anyone have any questions? Anyone want to offer anything? Cassie? I know Cassie is driving, so she might not have it. Anybody? Nikki, I know that answered your time management stuff. Anybody have anything else? I didn't put a whole lot down because I know time management was the main thing we were all wanting. All right. Kristen, you do all your personal development when driving. I do too. Driving and grooming is when I do personal development or trainings. I gave up Howard except for late night drives to listen to personal development. If you know me, that is a big adjustment. Rob Sperry is a great podcast to listen to. We're gonna
Yeah.
these books in that feed. That it? Nikki, I hear your children. He's so cute. Got some cute. Everybody's got cute.
Oh no.
You need enrolling guidance. I'm telling you, just offer it. That is the most, it is, when you're enrolling people, you just have to have the excitement. I don't do phone calls as much unless I feel like someone needs that extra push. But if they hear your excitement, people will jump in. And now with no sales requirements, they have nothing to lose. Anybody on here has nothing to lose. If you decide not to sell anything for a month, nothing happens. If you decide not to sell for 5 months, nothing happens. And then on that 6th month, if you want to keep your team and decide to have your best month ever, awesome. So that to me is where sharing it with everyone, telling them that there is really nothing to lose. You're just going to get your nails at a discounted price, whether they just, buy for themselves or not. But the opportunity of having something bigger, the opportunity of it going to another level. I didn't even know that there was ranks in direct marketing. I didn't know that you could give yourself a raise just by enrolling people. Like those kind of things just don't make sense in the normal world. So sometimes people just need to know how it all works. So finding out what their concerns are, what would hold them back from doing it. Maybe they have a bad taste in their mouth from what they've heard, and ask them what have they heard and apply it to what your experience has been. So I think that is definitely just giving them the basics. It's just not overwhelming them, but really if someone's on the fence, pick up the phone and call them. Like talk it out with them. Mirroring, that is so, we make fun of Casey all the time because when people come up to her and have a Southern accent, Casey copies it. And it is not on purpose. She just is like mirroring them. And it is exactly what she
So
does.
true.
And it is like, what are you doing? And now I'm like, see, there's a name for it. And it's good because you
I
are
have a
going.
talent. I have a talent. I didn't even know it. It's called mirroring. So thanks for making fun of me.
We have
I
a
have a
technical
talent.
name for it.
The whole time we were in Orlando, I'm like, what is happening to her?
She just does it. And it's like, but it's funny because she matches their accent, whether it's Southern. I mean, when we're at a Mexican restaurant, I'm like, she just ordered in Spanish. And I'm just like, what just happened? She does it like immediately and just slips right into it. She's mirroring them. I do that with British accents too. Yes, Tori. I do the same thing with British accents. I'm very good at those. That's my only, except when I get around them and they're fast. So mirroring is a great way to like match someone's tone. If they're excited about it, get excited. Tell them how fun it is. If they're more reserved and want to know more details, bring it down, get to the details, and give them that information. So I hope that answered your question, Carissa. Casey, I'm so glad we have a name for what we thought was an issue is now not an issue. It's quite.
And I always like to remind people, remember why you enrolled.
Right.
Somebody enrolled you. What did they say to you? Or what was it that you learned or wanted to know when you were talking to somebody about enrolling? Take it back to the very beginning because everybody enrolled with somebody. And remember what it was about it that got you hooked in.
What made you do it?
Right. Cassie beat my
What
door
made-
down. That's what made me do it.
What made you say, okay, I'm gonna do this?
Right. And I think it was Amanda Simon actually on Beautifully Polished a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And it stuck in my head. And who are we to decide for them?
Right.
Like, who are you to determine who should do this and who should not, or who would be good at it and who wouldn't?
Yeah.
Ask everybody.
Yeah.
What are they going to say? No. Move
Yeah.
on.
Say no. A no is a no. And it's a not right now. I was a no. And then the next day I was like, all right, I'm going to buy a lot more of this. And when Cassie told me there was really no risk, you're going to buy more, you might as well get them for cheaper. I was like, great, I'm going to buy some and then I'm going to quit as soon as dog shows start back up. Well, that didn't happen. So you just don't know. People's lives change, things come up. We learn how to, adjust to our life the way it is. I run 3 businesses. We have the shampoo business, I have the nail business, and we have the dog business. And Eric has a training business. We are all busy. We are all juggling. We are all doing, you make time for the things that are important to you. And I really think that if you make this important to you, it's really fun. And it's really a whole new world that, you can just really affect someone's entire life. Like when we went to conference and saw all these people and then got to actually take in the community, it was life-changing. It was a big impact for us. So don't count yourself out and just really know that once you get everything working together, it all goes together. All the reach outs you do, all the offering, if you're doing parties and don't have a post in there about joining your VIP group, change that today. Make sure you link your VIP group if that stylist is not, or if that host is not signing up, that you get those people over into your group. And then make sure in your group or in your party, every single time, every week, I have an opportunity post. Like, it has got to be in there. If you're not putting it in there in every party and at least once a week in your group about signing up, you never know what day it's going to catch someone's eye. You never know. One day they're gonna be like, why not? Why not? My accountant the other day was like, I might do this. She finally got her first set. She's like, you know what? I might do this. So she's in my funnel. I'm just gonna keep checking in on her, see how she likes it. If she likes it, she'll jump in. She's an accountant. She's gonna look at the numbers first. I sent her the compensation plan. She's going to take a little more time and look at it, and then she's going to get back to me. And I know that. So knowing who you're working with, knowing who you're having conversations with, really, I love the idea of mirroring. I think that was such a good way to put it. So even though I'm going to tease Casey forever for that. All right. Yeah. If you have a top buyer considering it, yeah, offer it. Offer it. You can't go wrong. And you have backup. Our team has the most amazing system that, we got Amanda on because she wants us on hers to train her team. We're going to get some really awesome people because they see our system and they want to duplicate it for their teams because our system is so awesome. So if you just started, or if you've been in it for a year and you're signing someone up for the first time, you've got backup. So just know that you've got really good backup. All right. I think that's about it. We have to jump off and do our Punta Cana sign up. So congrats to those of you that did that. I can't wait to see how many of us earn the Mexico trip. After this month, we can't even ignore how much this month is going to be huge for our businesses and get those points on the scoreboard and just knock it out of the park, because I know it's going to be a huge month. I'm so excited. We're going to do, I think next Thursday, after the Canada launch, we're going to do a little welcome call. So if you get people signed up, we're going to have a little welcome call, kind of explain some basics to anybody that can do that. So just know that's coming. We'll post more about that, but just kind of anyone that's enrolled someone in Canada and has an enrollee, we'd love for you guys to jump on with that so we can just make sure we've got the basics down for them. All right, anything else? I think that's it. This is weird not having Cassie on here to do this with us, but I think Casey's got it recorded and we are good. So you guys have a good night and thanks for joining us.